Here we go, guys. It looks like we are live.
Are we? Let us know.
Are we live? Yeah. Again, we're still toying with this new software, this new thing. So right now we are attempting to make things work better. But it looks like you guys are already in the live chat. So maybe you guys do see us. If you do, obviously tell us. We have Anthony, Nathan, Tamo, Violet, and Martina already in the live chat, which is quite awesome. So welcome to a new live session from NZ Pocket Guide. Today we're going to be talking about traveling in New Zealand because we know all and everything about traveling in New Zealand because we kind of are the experts of traveling in New Zealand. But Laura, why are we the experts?
Well, this is Robin and I'm Laura and we're the team behind nzpocketguide.com, which is New Zealand's largest travel guide. It literally has thousands and thousands and thousands of articles to help you plan the perfect trip to New Zealand. Of course, when you're actually able to come to New Zealand because, yes, yet again, we don't need to say it really, but the borders are still closed to New Zealand. That's closed to most international travellers, unfortunately. But if you are dreaming of coming to New Zealand, it's never too early to plan the perfect trip, and that's what we're here for. Otherwise, if you're in New Zealand, well, lucky you, go ahead and start using the website for absolutely free. But if you're not really into reading, because there are a lot of words on that website, this is what this live chat is for. You can come onto the live chat and ask your New Zealand travel questions directly to us and we will answer them for you. But if you do miss the live session, you can always put your questions in the comments section of any of our YouTube videos and we pull them together and we can answer those during the live session as well. Or, we'll just answer it in the comments. We kind of useful like that. So yeah, ask your questions and we will do our best to answer them for you.
If I can read them, my glasses are absolutely dirty. So here you go. All right, so we're starting this morning with Anthony Comstock that says...
Morena from Rodeo, California, I'm guessing.
She doesn't even have to read it. And Morena means good morning in Maori, which is the local indigenous language. So we also have Extreme Talaota that says...
Morena!
Exactly. All right, so Anthony Comstock says, did you get a chance to check out about that question I asked about the borders possibly opening in November 1st to tourists? Thank you. That's what Channel 1 from New Zealand is saying. So yeah, I did look into it, and honestly, there was absolutely no credentials behind the article. So I really don't think it's going to happen. I mean, we're literally talking about reopening. If it was in November 1st, right? That would literally be in about 20 days from now. And we are still wrestling right now. We do have some COVID-19 cases in Northern. We have some COVID-19 cases in the Bay of Plenty. There are now locations of interest all around the North Island. And there is 402 cases in the community. I just don't think that's happening. So, for this reason, since that's also the only place where it was reported as well, I don't know. I really don't think...
Seems iffy.
Yeah, I don't think there was good journalism right here. However, I'd be really happy to be wrong. And if the news kind of come out and let's say Channel 1 had it like so much earlier than everybody else. Yeah,
yeah.
If they did, I'll tell you that, and I'll obviously cover the news during our news segment, or Laura will cover the news during our news segment. But at this stage, we really saw nothing about that. So sorry for the bad news. We have Nathan Baith that says, Kia ora, good morning, Laura and Robin. How are you doing, Nathan? How is it doing for you? How is it going for you in Taupo? We have Tamo Sirag that says, hello, Robin and Laura, greeting from Estonia. That's so cool. Greeting from Estonia. How are you doing, mate? Estonia, such a fun country. Violet Zulu says, good morning, guys. And I think Violet is from South Africa, if I remember correctly. We have Germany. That's Martina Sten that says, good evening from Germany. And we have Clay, which is from Dunedin in the southern of New Zealand, that says, good morning, all. And we have Extreme Talota, again, that says Morena. And we have Arpit Agawal that says, good morning, New Zealand.
Good morning.
So our first item of business today, Clay, we already had a question about the borders, thanks to Anthony. So go ahead and
so you can start pouring that
treat yourself.
whiskey into your wheat bix.
Clay says, open up South Island while North sort itself out, in my opinion. Over 400 days since we have a case here. So yeah, I mean that could be a way to do it. You could open travel to the Southern, and however, I feel like if we're opening international travel to the Southern, and that's gonna get a lot of cases in the Southern. And you know what happened in Singapore, right? In Singapore, they were doing a total elimination strategy, like what we were doing in New Zealand, and then they decided to reopen their border, and now they are riddled with a ton of cases. So yeah, maybe it's a necessary evil. I don't want to give any kind of opinions or anything like that. It really doesn't, it's really not our place to do that. We're just here to report on what's happening. So maybe it's a necessary evil to actually let some cases in the community and live with COVID. People are going to get vaccinated, and we're going to have to learn to live with it. But maybe if we want to keep going with this elimination strategy, we need to keep in lockdown for a little longer until vaccination rates go up, which they slowly are. Suman Gurung says, hello, sir. When opening NZ border, please, from Nepal? Laura.
Well, he did say sir, but,
yes.
But I'll take this one.
I'll translate it to ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, so there are no official announcements for the borders being open, unfortunately. There's no news that they are going to open to international travellers in the near future. So, unfortunately, yes, the borders are still closed, and we don't know when they're going to open right now. So, yeah, you can always keep posted on the Immigration New Zealand website, for example, and any other places that people can keep posted.
No, there's links for you in the description of the video to help you out, Suman. Clay says that his political rant is over. Sorry about that. You're more than welcome to have
I like how like half a sentence in New Zealand is considered a political rant. You should hear how some people go crazy.
You should meet a Frenchman one day.
Yeah.
We'll see what kind of rants actually are, and how long rants can last when you are really passionate about the subject. All right, moving on to Pradeep Chada, or Chada, I think. Chada, yeah. Okay, Pradeep Chada says, hi, any border opening hopes for February 2022?
As I just mentioned, because there are no official announcements of when the borders are going to open, then, well, if there's no announcement, then in our opinion, there'd be probably no hope. We just don't know at the moment. So, unfortunately, we can't give you we can't give you the answer you want on that question, I'm afraid.
No, not just yet. But we have a next question, Laura. It's for you again.
Oh, yeah?
So it's Rachdira Bentara. And he says, Rachdira says, hi, team. Kia greeting from Sri Lanka. Do you have any idea about what's the status of border opening plan, which was announced by the Prime Minister in the month of August 2021? So we did cover that quite extensively, actually. We did cover the border opening with a full video on the channel. I don't know if you had a chance to watch that video, in which I even actually literally put some snippets of what the Prime Minister said. And yes, there was a big plan on how the border will open and when they will open, and also even some stages of them being able to do some tests of their new policies. Sadly, literally mere days after this announcement, we started having a new surge of cases in New Zealand. So there's been no announcement right now, but what we are all suspecting right now is that there is going to be a big delay into that plan. Or not necessarily a big delay, but there is going to be a delay into that plan. Although it hasn't been announced, the simple reason why we all really suspect that there's going to be a delay is because, well, New Zealand has quite a small population, and therefore we have a small amount of manpower as a resource. And so a lot of people that were working into making those plans for the border opening now have to work into controlling the outbreak of COVID-19 in the country, and therefore are falling behind on their work for the border opening plan. So maybe they're going to kind of try to accelerate things in the early 2022, but we do feel like there is going to be a delay when looking back at the time frame that was announced in August 2022. Now, when it comes to how long this delay is going to be, we do not know. However, as soon as we do know, or as soon as we do have an inkling, we will be able to make a video on this channel and keep you guys appraised. So keep on joining those live sessions. They are every single week at exactly this time. We're here for 1 hour chatting to you guys about traveling in New Zealand. And, as you can tell from the question that we're currently having right now, there is quite a lot of questions about the border opening. And that allowed me to move on to the next question. And the next question is from Samuel T from the UK. So I'm pretty sure he's talking to Laura. He wouldn't talk to a Frenchman, would he? So Samuel says, "Hi there, I have a question. I am moving/traveling to New Zealand early November and was wondering what is it like in New Zealand at the moment? And is it a normal and a fun place to travel and work right now?"
Yeah, actually, surprisingly, compared to the rest of the world, we know that life has changed in the rest of the world with people, having to wear masks a lot. Well, that's kind of actually changed recently. But basically, in New Zealand, the only time people need to wear masks in some parts of the country, it's very different in Auckland right now, for instance, and some parts of Waikato and Northland, I believe. They're at a higher level of alert level, so they're having sort of more lockdown restrictions at the moment. But for the rest of the country, people just need to wear masks when going into shops, supermarkets, that sort of thing. Having to sign in there's an app, or you can sign in manually when you're going into shops and supermarkets, that sort of thing, or medical centres. And also being on public transport as well. For sort of travel experiences where you're going to sort of, maybe if you're going on scenic hikes, for instance, or if you're doing tours, that sort of thing, then maybe things are kind of quite similar to how they were before. But obviously, there's less international travellers in New Zealand at the moment, obviously because the borders are open, as we have mentioned quite a lot already. Because there's less travellers in New Zealand at the moment, that does mean it does feel a lot quieter. However, that doesn't mean that every tourist attraction is absolutely dead, because New Zealanders actually can't, get out of the country or easily be able to come back and have, avoid going through the whole quarantine thing.
And actually, travelling right now in New Zealand can be quite cheap. There's a lot of companies that do deals because there is less travelers around, so they try to attract more people, and therefore it is actually relatively cheap to travel in New Zealand right now compared to what it's going to be post-COVID, where all the prices are going to go back up. So stick around until we do the travel news segment, as we are always showcasing one deal at the end of the video where we find something cheap to do around New Zealand, which is kind of cheaper than the usual, and we talk about it. It's not sponsored or anything like that, it's literally just some good deals for you to travel around New Zealand, so that may give you some idea. So we continue. Apologies.
Yes.
I just thought to pitch in about the prices of traveling, which is quite good.
Yeah.
So I know you guys in the UK are pretty stingy.
Yes, we are. So also because New Zealanders aren't sort of free to travel around the rest of the world, that does mean that there are a lot more New Zealanders than usual going to local tourist attractions, the things like Milford Sound, Tongariro Crossing, all those sort of big names. They tend to be actually still pretty busy. We were surprised, especially last year. We, for instance, did the last year. It wasn't even last year because, seasons are different over here in New Zealand, so
not that long ago, during COVID, we did Tongariro Alpine Crossing.
Yeah, and we were surprised to see the crossing actually busier than other years when we had done it while the borders were open.
Yeah.
Another thing that might be a bit different is that some tourist businesses have closed down since COVID. Some accommodations aren't up and running. So in terms of maybe choices in some sort of smaller towns and things, you'll have maybe a bit less choice when it comes to accommodation and some activities, for instance. But otherwise, there's still plenty to do in New Zealand. There's still hundreds of things to do, and you can always go on to nzpocketguide.com to check out all those amazing things to do. We have nice long lists. We literally have a list on there which is 101 things to do in New Zealand, just to give you an idea of all the things that are still available to do. So go check that out.
All right. So I hope that answers your questions. Samuel. Feel free to go ahead and ask us some questions. Very lively live chat. Again, we're going to read every question that comes in. So don't panic, guys. We just have a very lively live chat right now. So yeah. Okay, so we have Kedar Chondari that says, "Hi there. Almost 60% of the population has taken the first dose and about 40% the second one. These are strong signs for border opening for us Indian students." Actually, the up-to-date numbers will be given to you during the travel news segment, which we'll do really soon. but we have 54% of the population fully vaccinated and 27% of the population that already had one dose. So yes, I agree. Those are really strong and good numbers, and they are a good sign for borders opening. However, one of the things which is quite interesting to look at is that I think that the last 20 to 15% of the population is going to be the hardest part of the population to get vaccinated. There are people that just don't want to be vaccinated, and this is what's going to make the difference. How long will it take us to do this last, 20, 15, even 30%, this last batch of the population? How long will it take us to do that? I actually genuinely believe that this is going to take us longer than to do the first 50% of the population. And for this reason, this is when it's going to be critical. So yes, we had a really big outtake at the beginning. Now it's all about keeping the momentum in. And at the moment, it looks like the momentum is dying down. So hopefully we pick that up. Because yes, we want you to come to New Zealand. We do want you to come and have fun with us. We have Samia Yusuf that says, what day New Zealand opened? And you guys are just all working into getting Clay drunk. So if you guys don't know, there's a joke in this channel. There's a viewer called Clay, which is in Dunedin, in the South End. And he says that every single time someone asks about the border opening date, he has to take a shot of whiskey, knowing that it's 8 a.m. in New Zealand right now. It is a little early. So it's just a funny joke going on. Anyway, Samia, we already talked about that quite extensively, but there is no day that has been announced, but probably around mid-2022 to late 2022.
As soon as there are official announcements and as soon as, there are known dates for the borders opening, make sure that make sure you are subscribed to this channel, because we will be bringing out videos to give everyone the updates on when that happens. We will have a border opening party when that happens, because we will be very excited. But yeah, until then, just make sure you hit subscribe and the notification bell so that you are up to date with our videos.
Here you go. By the way, I did put a survey, because we always put a survey, and this time is, do you guys follow us on Facebook or Instagram? And so far 56% of you guys say is a flat no. So okay,
Facebook's a toilet.
Yes, but I put a lot of work into putting some fun stuff for you guys to look at. So
YouTube's better.
Yeah, no, I do prefer YouTube as well. But if you guys want to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, I put a lot of work on trying to do things differently over there. So you may want to join us then. Wow, 59% said no. Wow, I think telling you guys to follow us on social media while telling you that social media are a toilet is not necessarily the best sales pitch.
Oh yes.
I think we'll have to work on our sales pitch one day. Okay, Mohammed Mengal 9 says, border open for visit visa holder. There is no news just right now, but again, Clay, get yourself another shot. So there is no opening date for visitors. They are probably going to be one of the last ones to be opened. First you're going to get students and workers and everything, people which are staying for longer in New Zealand. So for just visiting New Zealand as a holiday, it will take a wee while from now. But we will post a video on there. Chadung is giving us a smiley wavy emoji. I like the fact that the guys, by the way, we're opening a lot of emojis. I love it. Grant, I'm coming to you very soon because that's a big heart emoji. I love it. So yeah, don't forget to put some emojis. I like it. Clay says, Lou, which is his wife, sorry. Lou says the same about me. I get passionate at times, not sure why. It's not like I can change anything or the politicians are listening. Now, that's the thing. So, but sometimes it just feels good to get it out of your chest. And I personally believe that honesty is the best policy. So it doesn't matter. Say how you feel and it's okay. People will respect that, or at least the right people will respect you having an opinion.
Yeah.
Grant Seton is here from Hogs Bay. How are you doing, Grant? Thank you for joining us another time. I know you do have a question, so I'm going to jump to that straight away. And it says, what have been enjoying during lockdown, the New Zealand presenters? So, what have we been enjoying during lockdown? So we do play a lot of board games. We are pretty geeky like that. So we do play a lot of more like grandiose kind of board game. Boom, Gloomhaven. And so we play a lot of board games. What else have we been doing? Laura's done a lot of gardening as well.
I've been planting some seeds, gonna be growing some vegetables.
Yeah,
very soon.
Breaking news from NZ Pocket Guide. Today, we're having an eggplant. There is an eggplant that sprouted out and it's finally out of the ground. So here you go. That's a big breaking news from the lockdown. But yeah, basically, and also we do work a lot from home. So we work on the website and everything like that. So we've done a lot of work on the website and we are doing a big refresh on NZ Pocket Guide yet again. So that's pretty cool. And you may have seen that we have posted a lot of videos recently with just audio of that. And we're trying to basically bring audio version of our articles to make the website more accessible. And so that's why you saw us posting like about 30 audio videos literally in the last couple of days, just because I've been working on that. So yeah, we've been doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It was quite fun.
Yeah.
Adil Mula, again, I'm going to read the comments of everybody, right? So don't panic. Adil Mula says, Kia ora, Robin and Laura. I would like to know if Rakura Jade Greenstone Carving Studio on Stewart Island is wheelchair accessible, and will anyone that is sitting down be able to join in the carving process? I.e., is the carving equipment low enough to allow this? Thank you in advance.
So what I do remember from Rakura Jade is that you do have to go up some stairs.
Yeah.
It is on the second level. I mean, perhaps there is wheelchair access, like another way to get upstairs. But yeah, there was definitely some stairs to get up. I am going to give you an alternative after I give this explanation, though.
By the way, while you guys are watching, there's 19 of you and we only have 7 likes. If you only hit the like button, it tells YouTube that we're doing a good job. Yes.
So, and also, so all the carving equipment is on high tables, but there are high stools. So if you're able to, transfer from your wheelchair to a high stool, it is mostly sitting down. You do sit down for most of it, but you just have to. You won't be able to stay in your wheelchair because obviously the tables are quite high. You'll have to go onto the stools. But so I would actually, just from our experience, I would say that it's not the most wheelchair friendly jade carving that you can do in New Zealand. However, perhaps a more wheelchair friendly option would be in Hokitika. There's a place called Bones and Stones. We do have a video of this on the channel, so if you want to check out greenstone carving, or the Bones and Stones spelling is a little bit weird. It is BONZ. STONZ. So that's what the place is called, but that's all on like a ground level building. There is wheelchair access into the building, and but they are again from memory. It is all like sort of high benches for doing the carving. Or maybe not quite as high as Rakura Jade, but I'm sure that you can, sit on the stools. Or I feel like this would be a good thing to sort of discuss with the owner there to do, and that it does look like it could be doable for wheelchair accessibility. So that is actually the one that I would recommend over Rakura Jade, which although Rakura Jade is amazing and we really enjoyed it there, it's probably not the most wheelchair accessible.
Nice one. Sorry, I'm transitioning to this. I was just playing around with some stuff.
Okay.
Whoops, I've changed something. So now it says Laura Cam at the bottom. That is wrong.
Laura
Okay.
Cam.
Yeah. I was trying to add a Laura Cam to you, but it didn't work. Anyway, that was nonsense. I will deal with that later. Next question is... actually, a comment from Grant says New Zealand is going to open in 2 years from now. I think that's a bit pessimistic. I think it's going to get about a year, but I don't think it's going to take 2 years. But yeah, Samuel T says thank you. Grant says I reckon there is a hardcore 15% that won't get the vaccine. That sounds about right. I think it's going to shrink down to about 10%, but it is going to take quite a lot of effort in order to do some convincing right here and to get some people to basically get that damn vaccine.
Yeah.
All right. We're having Violet that says, can I have the name you are using on Facebook? Yes, so it's NZ Pocket Guide. You type NZ Pocket Guide on Facebook, you should be able to find our page. And you'll be able to find us and follow us, which would be awesome. Also, I want to take a second to say thank you to... Oh, okay. Yes, to the 5 people that clicked like after I said, hey guys, if you want to like us, that'd be nice. 5 of you clicked like and you guys are awesome.
Thanks,
all 5
guys.
of you. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Wow, the live chat is really busy today. I love it. Samuel T says, question for Laura. That is point blank just for you. I told you. He says, how does New Zealand prices compare to the UK prices? I've heard that it's very expensive. I've also heard it's about the same as the UK. So what is your experience?
I say that New Zealand is a little bit more expensive than the UK. It's definitely not the same. The thing that shocked me the most when I first came to New Zealand in terms of grocery prices was the price of dairy products in New Zealand. Initially, when I saw that a kg of cheese was, well, nowadays it's about $11 to $13. It was $10 when I first arrived in New Zealand, and I was like, that seems insane. So yeah, things like dairy products that are actually made in New Zealand are more expensive than what you'll experience in the UK.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, all the grocery prices are a little bit more expensive. But bearing in mind, maybe you're not coming here to work or anything, but the minimum wage is quite high in New Zealand. So yeah, sort of cost of life is all a little bit higher here. So yeah, I mean, I haven't lived in the UK for about 7 years now, so I mean, I don't know how prices have fluctuated in the UK in that time, but just basing it off how prices were about 7 years ago, yeah, it was a bit cheaper in the UK compared to New Zealand.
Here you go. Clay says it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Yeah, well, that was a lot of time people ask about the border, mate. So
Yeah.
I think you must be smashed. All right, so I'm going to read a couple of more comments. Then I'm going to stop. We're going to do the news, and then I'm going to get back to the comments. So Grant says YouTube rocks, but I will check out for Instagram. Oh, that's nice. Well,
Nice.
thank you very much, guys. Again, keep on answering the study. I like to know, if you guys are following us or not on social media. And actually, if sometime in the comments you want to tell us why you chose not to follow us on social media, it's cool because I want to know what you guys want out of social media. If we even should spend some time having social media pages, we try to build something around what you guys would like us to provide for you and what kind of information you want. We thought with social media, we try to do something a bit more interactive. We get some quotes, like some things, so like a little bit what we think of, some activities and some stuff. We do some games, like, what do you prefer, like beach or bush or those kind of things. We do those kind of stuff, or some photos that we really like. But yeah, if there's something else you'd like from social media, tell us now.
Let us know.
And Tamo, and then I'm going to stop, do the news, and I'll get back to Clay. So Tamo says, please do a live feed from the New Zealand border opening party too.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? We probably will do we'll have some special hats. We'll
Yeah.
have some COVID hats.
We'll wear the masks on our head.
Yes, we you know what? That is a fun one. We'll do a special a live video, we'll do a live session, especially on the day the New Zealand borders reopen. That'd be fun. Good idea. All right, so keep asking your questions in the comments. In the meantime, we're going to go for the news. So we're going to cover all the travel news about New Zealand. That's going to take us about, 5-6 minutes, and then we'll get back to the live chat. So don't worry, even if you ask us a question right now while we talk about the news, we will still get to it. All right. Let's get started with the news. Here is how I do the news, because I'm trying to do something different right now. So I'm removing the top. Boom, I'm transitioning. I'm starting the recording, and here we go. All right. Welcome to New Zealand Travel News, the segment where we go over the news that people looking to travel to or around New Zealand may care about. We are the team behind New Zealand's largest travel guide, NZPocketGuide.com. I am Robin, and this is Laura.
Thanks for that, Robin. We're going to kick this off with some of the latest numbers concerning the COVID-19 situation in New Zealand. So, starting off, 54% of the population is fully vaccinated. 27% of the population has one dose. And currently, there are 402 cases in the community, including cases in Auckland, Waikato, Bay of Plenty, and suspicion of cases in Northland. Northland, Auckland, and parts of Waikato are at alert level 3. The rest of New Zealand remains at alert level 2.
So as you can... Oh, sorry, there's something else.
Just one little bit extra. Travel to New Zealand is heavily restricted. In short, our borders are still closed to most travellers.
That's literally what
Which
I
you
was
guys
about to
already
say.
know about.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. There are some heavy restrictions currently for life in New Zealand, so therefore international travel is also heavily restricted. But on the southern end, they haven't had a case for over 400 days, which is pretty good. So life over there is a little easier.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to a piece of news from RNZ, which is Radio New Zealand, which was published on the 5th of October 2021. And it's entitled, PM Announces COVID-19 Vaccine Certificate. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern says Cabinet has agreed to the use of vaccine certificates in New Zealand. New Zealand's vaccine passport is likely to be a digital COVID-19 vaccination certificate containing a QR code. More details will be shared in coming weeks, but for now, the certificates will be used as a tool in high-risk settings, including large events, and the government is consulting on their use in places like hospitality. It will not be used for places like supermarkets or essential health services. It will be available either in digital form on smartphones or can be downloaded and printed out. They are likely to start being used in November.
So yeah, starting in November is basically when we start having a lot of the summer event, even if summer kicks in New Zealand, not in November, but in December, but that doesn't really matter. So we start having quite a lot of events. We have festivals such as Rhythm and Vines, which is probably the most famous New Year festival in New Zealand, and they are likely to require people to have that certificate in order to enter the event. For international travelers that's going to come to New Zealand, there's not been too many announcements just yet in how they will be able to obtain that certificate for New Zealand, or if your certificate from home will work in New Zealand, but there is likely that we're going to get more announcement on that as we get closer to the date. As the press release says, it is likely that it's going to happen in around November, so we are looking to get some news about this in the next couple of weeks, and we will report about it on this channel for sure. So make sure to hit like and subscribe.
All right, we've got another piece from Skift, published on the October 3rd, 2021, and it's entitled Air New Zealand Mandates Vaccines for International Flyers in First for Airlines. By being the first global carrier to officially mandate COVID-19 jabs for travellers, Air New Zealand have just set off a new wave of vaccine requirements for international travel. The move makes the Auckland-based carrier the first to set a date for a traveller vaccine mandate. In September, Qantas CEO Alan Joyce said the airline will require vaccines for international flyers likely to restart at the restart of long-haul flights, which is currently set for November. The Canadian government has also said it will mandate vaccines for travellers, both on flights and other modes of transportation, from sometime this fall. Being vaccinated against COVID-19 is the new reality of international travel, says Air New Zealand CEO Greg Foran in a statement. Mandating vaccination on our international flights will give both customers and employees the peace of mind that everyone on board meets the same health requirements as they do.
So although Air New Zealand is the first airline or the first major airline carrier to actually require or mandate to be vaccinated in order to fly with them, it is not going to be the last one. There is definitely going to be a big wave of airline carrier having those requirements. Plus, on top of that, there is going to be a lot of countries which are going to require to be fully vaccinated in order to get into the country. So the fact that the airline is requiring it really doesn't change so much, as it's probably going to be a requirement in order to come into the country. There are already many countries which have vaccine requirements, not just about COVID, but about many other diseases, in order to be able to enter the country itself. Every country has the right to decide what are the conditions and requirements in order to enter the country. So it is really not changing too much within the travel landscape, but it's a step forward that kind of shows this is what's going to become the new normal, the new way of traveling. After big events such as 9/11, there was crazy amount of announcement of new control and new check and new security measures when taking flight. I think that post-COVID we're going to see a kind of the same amount of the same waves of changes in the way we travel. So although post 9/11 we never traveled the same, post-COVID, we're never going to travel the same again, and it's going to change, and that's going to become a new normal, and we'll get acclimated to that. So yeah, that's probably just the first sign of a big wave of announcement that's going to happen. And Air New Zealand is in majority owned by the New Zealand government, so there may be some work behind the scene right now in making sure that all the requirements are aligned between government policies and the companies.
All right, moving on to our final section of our travel news, which is the deal of the week. So, Marlborough self-guided wine tour by bike. Discover the many wineries of Marlborough on your own self-guided biking wine tour. You'll get quality equipment and all the recommendations, tips, and hints you need to make your own Marlborough wine adventure. All for only $50 New Zealand dollars for the whole day. Guided options start at only $100. Check out Explore Marlborough for more info.
Just saying, it's not sponsored whatsoever. It's just companies that we like that have a decent deal at the moment. So if you want try a lot of different wines, and we don't recommend driving. Don't think
Better
we
to
should
do it by bike, yeah.
I don't know if we should recommend biking, but you go slower. You can see videos of us doing that on the channel. We really had a blast over there. And yeah, for $50 you basically get a good bike, and you get a map, and you get the lady that tells you where to go and everything like that, and you go from wineries to wineries and you have a blast. When budgeting for that tour, make sure that you budget yourself an extra $40 to $50 extra in order to be able to buy lunch in one of the winery, because you are gonna get the munchies. Well, that's true. That
is true.
All right, so that wraps up this new segment. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to reward all our hard work and to stay up to date with all our videos. Plus, check out nzpocketguy.com for thousands of tips, hidden gems, and much more. All right, guys, we are coming back into live streaming territory right here. I'll get back to all the questions. I just need to hit stop recording, and then I need to hit this. Yes, I'm doing all that live because I'm just learning the new software.
Yay,
okay,
we
we're
get
back.
to watch Robin on the computer.
Best live stream in the world, isn't it? Yeah. That's worth a like, guys. Just All right. So Clay says, have you employed a new voice person, or is it the computer? It threw me off when I watched that new Tongairo video, lol. It seemed like a computer at times, but sometimes they had expression which was confusing. Apologies in advance if I'm saying someone sounds like a computer.
Can't you tell it's Robin's new voice? He's been
Hello,
working.
this is
He's been
my
working
new
on
voice.
his female Kiwi accent.
No, so I'm actually using a voice maker, so it's in order to make it a little bit more accessible. So one thing that I've heard quite a lot, so I'm usually in charge of doing a lot of videos, right? Laura does a lot of writing, I do a lot of videos, I do other stuff as well. But yeah, so one thing that I've been hearing a lot is that a lot of people were just not happy with my accent. First, they don't consider me a Kiwi and don't consider me to know enough about New Zealand, despite the fact that I've been here for 11 years and I've done more activity, arguably, than, pretty much anyone in the country. And another thing is that a lot of foreigners were complaining about my accent, and they were saying that I speak too fast, they don't understand me, or these kind of things. So I thought I'd go for something computer generated, which doesn't sound too bad, honestly. I think it's very, very easy to listen to, and I thought it gives a good balance. So that doesn't mean we are going to stop doing videos ourselves. Absolutely not. And there's plenty of videos of us, coming up in the coming month. However, it's just to strike a bit of a balance. So those videos are mostly, so the one for the Tongairo crossing that you saw that was published yesterday, and for example the one about the Queenstown weather that was published this morning, those videos are just meant to be embedded into the pages of the website nzpocketguy.com, in order for some people that don't want to read, they just want to play that and just keep on doing something else on their computer while listening to it, which is how I use stuff anyway, to be able to just play the video and enjoy the content anyway. So yeah, that's the train of thought behind it. But yeah, you were right. This is a computer lady, but she's not bad. She's one of the best computer lady out there, I have to say.
I mean, she's the best member of NZ Pocket Guide now.
What?
She has beat it. We have her. She's the top one. Then we've got Wheatbix, who is, he's second on the list of best members of the NZ Pocket Guide team.
That's Wheatbix. If you guys are just joining us for the first time, this is the Kiwi bird, which is, you guys named it Wheatbix.
Yeah. And then, then we're somewhere far, far on the bottom after all our nice computer guys that help us out with the website.
Well, you're being very rude, Laura.
Yeah.
You're being very rude. All right. What else do we have in the comments? We have Grant that says that he's doing well, and he's giving me a ton of emojis. I love that, Grant. Thank you very much. By the way, guys, there is still a survey in the live chat right now if you want to answer the question. Do you guys follow us on Facebook and Instagram? And also, what do you want us to do on Facebook and Instagram? What would interest you guys? What would make you want to, join us in that fun journey? Then we have Clay that says, did I miss your response to the Opuke thermal pools? Probably not.
We haven't answered that question yet, so...
No, I don't have it. Would you be able to put your question again? I don't know what that was and why did we miss it. So yes, Clay, ask again and we will answer that. Do you know what the Opuke thermal pools are?
Opuke?
Yeah.
Is that the one that's near the Bay of Plenty? Let me just... I think I've heard of it. Let me just confirm it's the one that I'm thinking of.
All right. In the meantime, I'm gonna talk with Spider Mech. Oh, I like that
that's
name.
cool.
That's a cool name. Yeah, no, it's Mech with a K. It's not a mech. But that is still a cool name. Spider Mech says, I'm on YouTube, but I will set up Facebook and Instagram soon and see from there. Okay, good luck on Facebook and Instagram. I'll be honest with you, it's not necessarily our favorite social medias, but we're trying because we know that people do like social medias and interaction, all that thing. Extreme Talauta is gone. Says, see you next week. Bye bye. Clay is giving a suggestion. He says, Instagram, 365 days, 365 selfies in location everyone else has done already. Yeah, everybody else has done that. So, yeah, it's a bit boring. Well, we may give it a shot. I don't know. That's a good idea. I'll write it down in the ID wall. All right, Laura. Clay says, I just asked if you heard of the Opuke thermal pool. It's supposed to be open by now.
Yeah, so I just looked it up, and it is new hot pools that are coming to Methven, due to open winter 2021.
Yeah, so no, I haven't. No.
So no, obviously we haven't had the chance to get there yet. It's so yeah, we'll be interested to see what that's like. That would be a really cool addition to Methven. Methven is a town that is near the Mount Hutt ski field. And the Mount Hutt.
And that's what Opuke is. Opuke is Maori for Mount Hutt.
Oh, well, there we go.
There you go.
So, and Mount Hutt is...
Thank you, Clay.
The ski field is known for being closed a lot of the time. So when it is closed...
When Mount Hutt is Mount Shut, then head to the thermal pools.
Exactly. So that is probably going to be a very welcome addition to the town.
Yeah, because the amount of things to do in Methven once the mountain was closed was quite limited. They had a cinema.
They also, they had some nice walks. There's the Methven walkway.
Yeah, but when the mountain is shut, usually it's because the weather is pretty terrible.
Bad,
so
yeah.
it's kind of like it's usually it is a popular ski resort in the South End. However, when it's shut,
indoor.
It's very dire.
All weather attractions are not a thing that Methven does very well. But now it does. That's changed.
Yeah, and Clay says it's far from finished right now. It's supposed to take the water from the mountains and powered by the sun, which is cool.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice.
It did say that it was going to be a sustainable hot pool. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to check out once it's open.
Yeah. We have Big Dealer in the house, which says, hi, guys, but I'm late. You're not late. It's fine. As long as you join in,
Yeah.
It's okay. All right, guys. So we have 20 of you guys which are currently watching, and we have 14 likes. Can we get the 6 people that are watching right now and haven't clicked like to hit that like button? That'd be lovely.
Smash that like button.
Yes, smash it. I see what you did there.
I'm a real YouTuber now if I'm saying that. Smash that like button, people.
Look at you. Okay, so let's talk about what we have had in the channel this week, just so you guys are aware. So we had the ferry videos that came out yesterday. So if you want to know what is it really like to take the ferry between the North End and the South End, it's something that pretty much every traveler coming to New Zealand do. If you want to have an insight on how that works, make sure to watch this video. It was published yesterday. We also had a bunch of audio videos. I know we overwhelmed you with a lot of videos and you must have had a million notifications, and we're sorry about that. It was just a one-off, and then from now on we probably will be doing that only about every couple of weeks. We'll publish like a batch of 10 altogether to not annoy too many people. But yes, we have made a lot of audio only videos, and those videos are to be embedded on the website in order to enhance nzpocketguide.com and made it more friendly. You can just play the video and listen to the whole article. Now we do have plenty of fun videos coming up this week. What do we have, Laura?
So on our New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year recap, which for those of you that don't know, it's where a few years ago Robin and I did 365 days of 365 activities all around New Zealand. We filmed the whole thing and put it on YouTube. Well, we're doing a recap of that because obviously a lot of things have changed in New Zealand. Some activities might, not be around, or they've changed, or things have happened, or people have asked extra questions about the activity. So during the recap, we ask the questions that you guys had and also give you updates on what the activities are doing at the moment. So coming up, we have our stint of us going through the Catlins, which is at the bottom of the South Island, a really amazing place to travel, and pretty much all the attractions there are free. So that's what we're going to be recapping this week on our look back on New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year. We also have our a video about the best places to go scuba diving in New Zealand, so go check that out if you're interested in scuba diving. And we also have a video in our What Is It Really Like series, and this week we're looking at what is it really like to do blackwater rafting at Waitomo. That's where the beautiful glowworms are and the beautiful underwater caves. So, not underwater caves, but caves with water that are underground.
Yep. Oh, I'm not done yet, but okay.
Okay, so
That's
yeah,
okay.
I could talk
here.
more about Waitomo if you want.
That's okay. I'm trying to come back to us. I'm trying to come back up. Here you go. Now it's both of us. Boom. Okay. We have Clay that says, I watched the Methven video yesterday. The walk seems great. Yeah, it's a pretty nice walk by the canal and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's you know what? You're traveling with kids. It's a very easy walk with kids.
Yeah, what I found really fun about that walk was that there was like signage about what stretches and stuff to do before you start the walk. I felt that was really fun. Like I do like, before doing a walk, I do find it's very important to do stretches if you're going for a long walk. And then this one has a sign to remind you to do it and tells you which stretches to do. So yeah, I was, as you can tell, I was geeking out all over that signage right there. But yeah, it has, you first go through a bit of pine forest, then along some beautiful canals with really, really blue water, and then, yeah, back into the town of Methven. So, yeah.
The stretches.
The stretches were the highlight for me. I mean, I could have just done the stretches and gone back to the hostel after
She
that.
was very happy of the stretches. You know, I do remember that day. She was extremely happy about the stretches. I cannot tell you guys how happy about the stretches Laura actually was.
Stretches are important.
It's just nuts. She's nuts. He says, I also watched the Gore video. A lot of mileage of Gore for you guys. Yeah, we actually did stay in Gore way longer than expected. We ended up having, we did at least three videos there.
Yeah, so there was, in Gore itself, they have the Hokanui Moonshine Museum, which we talked about in the live session last week. They have a really cool art gallery there, which is
African.
Closed at the moment, but I think it's just temporarily closed. I think it is going to reopen. And then on the outskirts of town, you have a really cool camping spot, which is Dollamore Park, and that has Dollamore Park, sorry.
Yes.
And that has some really cool bushwalks. You can go see glowworms at night. The camping there is super cheap. If you for a powered site, it was only like $10 or something. It was cheapest power site in the whole country, and a really cool children's playground. I mean, that's always fun to play on. Yeah. And then and also nearby Gore is the Mandeville Aviation Centre, or Croydon Aviation Centre.
Which we didn't get to fly the planes in, which is really frustrating. The weather wasn't good, but we were scheduled to fly in one of those old dinghy, which, would have been terrifying.
In the sky.
Yeah, that would have been quite terrifying, but so we were supposed to do that, but the weather wasn't good enough, so therefore we just visited the museum, which was cool as well, but damn, that would have been cool to fly in there.
Yeah, so they have that attraction as well, We were kind of giving a little bit of how can I not swear? A little bit of I don't know another word not to swear. A little bit of nasty, playfulness, a bit of banter with Gore last week. But it is actually a cool place to check out a few stuff. We actually ended up having a blast in Gore.
Yeah.
It's hard to think of a word when you do
it's hard not to swear.
Trying not to swear.
Hey, listen. It's hard not to swear. It's my everyday life right here on YouTube. It's very hard not to swear. All right. Now, here's what's happening. It's 8:47 a.m. We are closing in this live session at 9. So we have 13 whole minutes. We have an entire quarter of this live session left. So feel free to ask your questions. But we have Anthony Comstock that says, before anybody tries to say it before me, stay safe. I'm here until the end, and have a beautiful week, everybody. Because here's what's happening. Usually, Anthony, since Anthony has been starting watching our live session, which We're probably closing in into a year now, isn't it, Anthony? How long have you been watching our live session?
I think it's got to be more than a
More
year
than a year,
now.
you think?
Yeah.
I think it's about a year, but tell us in the comments, Anthony. Anyway, so every single time since Anthony has been watching, he's always kind of the first one to say Morena, which means good morning, to just wish us good morning. And then he usually stays quiet for most of the live session. And at the end of the live session, he say, hey, stay safe, but I'm here until the end. And lately, there's been a bunch of people that try to steal his thunder. Nathan, for example, from Topo, he found it very funny to say just before him, which I found pretty hilarious as well. But this time, you got tricked, Nathan. And so yeah, and yeah, so now he just didn't want to be outdone, which is quite funny. And therefore, Nathan is laughing. Anthony says, I think it's been about a year and a half. Is it been a year? So you were right, more than a year, Laura. Okay, Nathan is asking. If you wanted to visit a place in the South Island, where would you be? Like any one place in the South Island.
If I wanted, is not the question. I do want to visit anywhere in the South Island.
It is winter right now, though. So are we taking into account the fact that right now it is winter and we need to pick a winter destination? I think we should.
Okay.
Yes, pick a winter destination, yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. Wait for it. Oh no, the hot pools aren't open in Methven yet. I was going to say Methven because there's new hot pools, but they're not open yet.
The camera is right on you, Laura.
Oh, okay. Let's think of a winter destination that...
Come on, Laura.
I don't want to say Queenstown. I keep thinking Queenstown, but then I'm like, no, I don't want to go to Queenstown. I want to go somewhere else. I want to go to... wait. I want to go to Abel, Tasman. I know it's not a winter destination, but... it's quite nice to go. It does get some sunny days in winter. And it's, you're escaping the summer crowds because everybody flocks there in summer. And it's still really nice to just, walk along the beaches and things during winter when it's nice and quiet. And you do get some nice sunny days there. So that's where I want to go right now. I want to go to Abel, Tasman.
Before I answer Nathan's question, I will answer. We got Spider Meg that says, good to listen to you two. Cheers to use. Till next. Oops, spider sense. Trouble in town. Gotta go. Kakite.
Funny.
I love that. Anyway, so Nathan, if I had to pick one place in the South Island, go to Mount Cook. Why would I go to Mount Cook? Because I like my skiing experience to be absolutely mind-blowing and uncrowded. And in Mount Cook, there is some amazing options to do heli skiing. Therefore, you take the helicopter, you go to some spots in the South Island. You don't actually go on Mount Cook to do a heli ski, but you go nearby and you can get a fantastic day out heli skiing with some amazing guides. It's really epic. If you don't feel like skiing, you can go to New Zealand's longest glacier, the Tasman Glacier. It's just a phenomenal area. There's beautiful lakes around. There are fantastic walks to do around. And if the weather is not good, you do have a planetarium, which is quite awesome, where you can see you can see a lot about the stars. There's a Sir Edmund Hillary Museum, which I do like as well. It's kind of a cool museum about Sir
Even
Edmund.
the Dock Visitor Centre, which is the Department
Exactly,
of
yeah.
Conservation Visitor Centre, it's free to go to, and it's kind of like a little museum
Yeah,
as well.
so there are quite a lot of things to do over there if the weather is not good, and there's a ton of amazing hikes and everything. I could literally be in Mount Cook for 2 weeks easy,
Well,
not getting bored.
You know what? I'm sold. I want to go there as well.
Yeah. Well, no, you go to
I'll go to
Tasman.
Abel Tasman.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yes. So yeah, Nathan, who are you joining? Laura to Abel Tasman or me to Mount Cook?
Yeah.
Which one did I sell you on? Did I sell you on? Therefore mine.
Yeah.
Cool. We have Clay that says Hammond Springs. Would it be cool in winter? No. Oh yeah,
Yes.
Hammond Springs could be a nice one to be in winter. And there is a lot of other
If you're
things to do
lucky, there is a ski field there, but sometimes it opens, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to Hammond Springs for the ski field over there.
Go there for the hot pools. Also
Yeah.
for, mountain biking and hiking and stuff is all fun there as well.
Did you watch our videos of Hammond Springs? Did you see our prime favorite method of transportation when in Hammond Springs?
Yes.
What was the name of those things? Like double bike? No.
Hanmer Springs Adventures calls them rocket bikes.
Rocket bike. That was the name. Rocket
But
bike.
there are competitors that have their own, types of bikes.
Yes.
I think they just call them like quadricycles. Or
Also, if you
something.
do have Laura on your bike, it's not a rocket bike whatsoever because she doesn't pedal. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, basically in Hammond Springs, it's obviously famous for its hot pools and everything, but there is a lot of other little things to do around town. And one of the things to do around town, it's kind of a bicycle cart which has like 4 wheels, and you can seat 4 people in there. There is a little wheel, and you just bike your way around town, which is kind of fun to do. And we have a video on the channel of us doing that. For some unknown reasons, we do random things around New Zealand.
Yeah.
It's
not the weirdest thing we've done in New Zealand.
No, we've done way weirder. We tried to drag an alpaca around the town at some point.
It was a llama, Robin.
It was a
Very
llama,
different.
yeah. Well, we tried to drag an uncooperative llama around town.
Interestingly, you can do llama trekking in Hanmer Springs as
Can
well.
you as well?
Yep.
Oh, well, here you go.
So, you could go, even in, I think Hanmer Springs is a place where you can do all weird tourist activities. You can do llama trekking, you can do rocket biking, and they have a fairy door walk. So this is for kids, but people have painted little doors into and put them on trees, and it's like you have to go round and look for all the doors where the fairies live. They have that as well.
Number 1 destination in New Zealand. Boom, Hanmer Springs. You've heard it here first. All right, so anyway, the rocket bike, it's funny, but it's not a rocket bike when you have Laura on the bike.
And also, they don't go uphill and they don't turn corners.
Yes. I mean, they turn-ish,
Yeah,
but,
and with a wide sort of, you need
a roundabout.
Yeah.
You need a full roundabout in order to be able to turn around. So plan ahead when you want to turn if you're ever on a rocket bike in Hanmer Springs. That's, hot take right here, hot take. Okay, Nathan says, thanks, I would like to go to Abel Tasman as well. Here you go.
Well, there you
Tasman,
go.
the win. Laura, you win. Bad choice, Nathan. Bad choice.
I think that was a good choice.
I disagree with you. Okay, Clay says, is the Oho ski field any good? So that's the one in Hammer Spring, isn't it?
No, that one is near Omarama. It's near Lake Ohau, and that ski field. You know what? I have personally not been there, and I did have some friends that were going there, but they literally got snowed out of being able to go there. So any experience that I've heard about for Ohau has been like they couldn't get there. So your guess is as good as mine, but it looks, I have obviously looked into it, and it does look like it's a really nice sort of quiet ski field, sort of semi-close to Queenstown, but really, really quite off the beaten track. So that would be a good alternative to go to if you're actually able to get there.
All right, I'm going to close the survey right now. Thank you to the 31 of you that responded. So we have had 52% of people that do not follow us on Facebook or Instagram, and 48% of you that are following us. So thank you to the 48% of you guys that are following us. That's really awesome. And for the 52% of you guys that are not following us, it's all good. Put it in the comments below. Why were you not following us, and what would you like us to do on social media? That'd be really interesting for us to know what's the haps, whatever kids are saying nowadays.
They're certainly not saying that.
And this is why I don't do good on social media.
What's the haps? Maybe if you did more what's the haps posts.
What's the haps, kids? Hey, the youth, what's the haps?
I think also the youth are not on Facebook.
Yeah,
Facebook is for old people like us.
Yes,
but
probably.
not even.
Yeah. All right. Clay says, yes, he did the video of us doing the rocket bike. And he says, playing dress up on the West Coast has to be on the list of the weird thing you've done. Doesn't it? Playing dress up on the West Coast.
We played dress up on the North Island.
I think we've
but
done.
Did we do that?
We put some hats in the Westport Coal Town Museum.
No.
Why are you talking about, Clay? Which one are you mentioning right here? I'm intrigued.
We hosted a radio show on the West Coast. That was
weird. That was a weird thing to do. Yeah, we hosted a radio show in Karamea. We got listened by 2 people and about 400 sheep. So that was pretty awesome. And we got a rating of bad.
Bad.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's one of the weird.
Where did we play dress up on the West Coast?
It's gonna be when he's gonna say it, be like, oh yeah. I mean, we did put a silly hat when going in the Franz Joseph Glacier. that is kind of dress.
We had some silly things on our shoes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we played dress up.
Oh no, he says when we were in the North Island when the kids followed. Yes, that was in Otorohanga.
The Kiwiana capital of New Zealand. For those of you that don't know what Kiwiana is, it is basically... we don't know either. Kiwiana is basically all the sort of cultural things of New Zealand, like all the sort of things that New Zealanders associate with their culture, such as baked beans, tomato sauce,
Let me zoom on your face when you say that.
Marmite, the Maori culture,
Pukekos.
kiwi birds, pineapple lumps.
What is Tom Cans?
I've already gone through that. Oh yeah, but tomato sauce in a can.
Yes.
In the same sort of can
In
that
a
you
tin.
would, in a tin, yeah. This is the thing that New Zealand does, which is just I'm still puzzled by it. It's like it's just a mess. But recyclable. So I like that.
Yeah. So technically, it's better. So Laura, eat your words.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually eat my words. I will never buy a plastic bottle again.
Here you go. All right. So yes, Clay. So that was in the northern and in Otorohanga in Hokitika. On the southern and on the west coast is where we did, our first jade stone carving. We went to do glass blowing, which is a weird activity to do in New Zealand.
That is,
So
yes.
here you go. We did glass blowing.
It was a rainy day activity. We were meant to be doing the treetop walkway.
Oh
just
god, that
out.
treetop walkway was such a nightmare to try to get to. We actually rescheduled. You see us rescheduling it once on the video, but man, we had to reschedule it 4 times.
Yeah, that's the thing about the West Coast. It is the rainiest region in New Zealand, so you do need to be prepared with some rainy day activities, as a backup, because, it can get pretty heavy, that rain there.
All right, cool. And so we have Nathan that's going to wrap us up and saying, have a great days and see you next week. Thank you, Nathan. And thank you to all of you guys that have watched this live session. So I've tried a lot of different things with the live session right now. There's a new setup as well. So you may see that some of the live sessions which are scheduled disappear and be replaced with new things. I am sorry about that. I'm working through how to make all these things work right now with this new YouTube shebang and shenanigans, but it's all for the better, I promise. It also allows us to actually, technically, we get the comments that you guys are saying a little bit earlier. Before we had a bit more delay. Now we have them a little bit earlier. So here you go. I'm attempting things. And also I will be able to, maybe perhaps, and I don't know, record the travel news so I can publish the travel news faster. And also, I may be able to adjust the bitrate of the videos live in order to, when the quality becomes crap and it may, oops, I said the bad word. And then we, it doesn't work and we're about to completely bug, I may be able to fix that as we go. Maybe, perhaps. So that's the new things. Anyway.
But it looks like we do have some news on fibre might be coming to our town.
Oh yeah, there's the hole literally right in front of our house, which is like
there are cones, there are traffic cones around an area.
There's the hole now. There's like a little trench where they're literally about to place that fibre.
This is where fibre is going to go very soon.
Yeah. But then I have to book the guy. So they literally come right into our footpath, but then I have to book the guy to come and connect to our home. And then it's going to take months. Oh. But I can't book the guy now. Okay. Because they don't know when it's going to be actually there. So I only need to book, I can only book the guy once the first stage is done. It's nightmare. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Bye-bye, guys.
See you next week.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. That'd be nice. If you want to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, it's at nzpocketguy.com. It should say it's somewhere in total. Oh, look, it says, as I say that, it says find us on social. Look at that. Amazing. Anyway, if you want to find us there, I'm trying different things right now on social media. So, come and talk to us there. In the meantime, you guys are absolutely awesome. I wish you a wonderful week, and we see you next week. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.